Episodes ago, I talked about the JeJu 2216 airplane disaster. I talked in depth. We watched a video. I talked in depth about what potentially happened. It looked like these guys basically had dual engine failure, came in and landed, did a very nice job of it. We're now seeing pictures of the right engine, and it looks in really bad shape. It's increasingly looking more and more like this poor crew accidentally shut down the left engine, which might have been better than the right. They both might have been struck by birds, but they shut down the one that was given them, that was their primary power source, it looks like right now. But even still, they did a fantastic job of covering around and putting it back on the runway. But sadly, the berm at the end made that all for naught, sadly. So in this video, I wanted to give a memoriam to those pilots and to show everyone else how hard it is to land an airplane with no engines. Pilots don't train for it. Never trained for it until the Sully Hudson River situation happened, and then pilot training departments started talking about it and showing it in the profiles. Here I've got some friends in a 737 Level D simulator, and they're doing the same thing. They're at 6,000 feet. They have lost both engines, and they're going into LA. LA is a much longer runway, but I wanted to show you how hard it is to land an aircraft with no engines. Let's check this out. So they're dead sticking it into LA. They're at 6,000 feet, a few miles away from the LA airport on a dogleg. They're going to do a left turn into the runway.
He does have idle thrust, doesn't he? No, he's got engine failure. Both engines are out.
Now you can see here.
It's a dual engine failure at 20,000 feet over. So it's a dual engine failure at 20,000 feet.
You can see he's got 3 green lights there in the center console. That means he's down 3 in green. He's 20 miles away from the airport.
Inboard,
6,000 feet.
Inboard on the south side.
Now your flash 15, we can go more if you want. No, then you gotta bleed energy in. Now your flash 15, we can go more if you want. No, then you gotta bleed energy in. They take a while to come back up, they don't they?
Take a while to come back up there, don't they?
I need to take the flash.
I would rather be.
No.
I need to take the flash.
Do a little more turn to that side before I get it.
No.
Turn more turn to that side before I get it. You're gonna overshoot it. I'm going to the inboard of the south side. You're gonna be halfway down the runway.
I'm going to the inboard of the
Flaps, you got
south side.
speed
You're on this speed, you're halfway down the runway.
Give me flash 4.
You got more flaps, you got speed brakes.
You're high and fast right now. Okay. Give me flash 4.
You're right on the edge of the speed.
Not on.
I said make yourself through.
You're right on the control. I said make yourself
You can't slip a 7-3. I'm just saying, make yourself some room.
You can't slip a 7-3.
Yeah, you can't cross control. I'm just saying, make yourself some room. Okay. Well, I mean, you're
You can't cross control.
Do what you want.
Brakes, not with flaps. Okay. Well, I mean, you're emergency area.
Bank angle.
Do what you want.
Bank
Try to
angle.
make
Bank angle.
Okay, watch your speed there.
Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle. Bank angle.
fun. Gotta keep the speed up because once you flare and get over the runway, you can't land at a normal altitude. You're gonna drop that speed. Speed up because once you flare and get over the runway, you can't land at a normal altitude. You're gonna drop that speed. Still got more flaps too if you need.
No, I call for flash 4. Yeah, they're just gonna blow back down.
Still got more flaps too if you need.
No, I call for flash 40. Yeah, they're just going to blow back up.
Well, alright.
Sink rate.
Yeah, you can put it
do what I
out.
can.
Pull up.
What is break right there?
Well, all right.
Sink rate.
It's at 1,000 feet.
I'm gonna do what I can.
Pull up.
Put your seat right there.
I'm aiming for the whole
Speed it up. Put the porch away.
Sink rate. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Sink rate. Up. Pull up. Pull up. 13.
Start
Pull
transitioning.
up. Pull up.
Get flat.
13. 10. 10.
Yeah, the 6,000 feet landing.
Don't have any thrust reverse.
I didn't think I was on the ground. Yeah, 5,000 feet landing. 5,000 feet. I didn't think I was on the ground.
No, you got on the ground.
Scott's a mean man. 60 knots.
That was the smoothest one yet with no engines.
Yeah, that was very smooth. That was very smooth. I thought I was still in the flare.
Hey, you're not stopped yet. Don't look at him.
Yeah, dude, I got time. I need time to pull.
So, yeah, a few things there. So he's 20 miles out. He's already got the gear down. He's at 6,000 feet, and you saw that was 3 pilots working that. One was an instructor, and they already knew that they were that this was coming. So you can see how hard that was. That was 3 pilots working that problem, and they weren't under duress, and they knew that this scenario was coming. So I wanted to show this video to show people how hard it was for those 2 pilots there at JeJu. My hat goes off to them. They really did a pretty good job for what was going on. You know, there's only been a few pilots in this world, very, very small number of pilots that have ever had to shut down a real engine. And, you know, when it's never done. It's hardly ever done. It's so rare. Thank God the technology, the engine technology, and the maintenance is so good that this never happens. But when it does, it is not easy. Sully made it look easy when he had his deal. There's a lot of Boeing drivers out there that will tell you that had that been a Boeing, it would have just kept on going. The Airbus engines just were totally destroyed by that, whereas Boeing's probably were not. So when you look at the engines of the JeJu 2216, the right one is beat up very substantially. So it must have been a massive bird strike, and that thing still kept going. Looks like there might have been a little damage with the left one too, but it still should have been able to continue giving them power. And it's ever increasingly looking more and more like they accidentally shut that engine down. This has happened, the good engine down, this has happened before. I believe it was an ATR. It was some type of turboprop. I think it was Hong Kong. Same thing, they lost an engine. They, with everything happening, they shut down the wrong engine, and they came back and were too short for the runway. These guys made the runway. This video shows you how hard it is. The 737 with, you know, it's hard to handle. It's like a big whale. It's not very responsive. You do some type of, you know, manipulation, and it takes a while for the aircraft to finally do what you want it to do. Then at that point, it's just all energy. You've got a finite amount of energy, and if you stay too high and bleed off the energy, you don't make the runway. If you go too low, you then pitch up, and again, you don't make the runway. It is not easy to do, and we saw that these 3 guys did do it. But after much discussion between the 3 of them, there was a 3rd guy there to help. And so I just wanted to show this video and show you how hard it is to land an aircraft dead stick. So that's it. We're going to get on out of here. Again, our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the persons that were on the JeJu flight. And I suspect a lot of changes are going to occur after this. They're going to do more to make sure that birds are not in the area. There's things that they can do. But they're also going to make sure that there's no more berms at the end of the runway. Those guys had the runway made. And they should have been fine, but that hill back there is what got them. So that's it. We'll see you on the next Ultra Top Secret.